All right, what's up, gang? We are back with more tradesman propaganda. Here is the way I would do it again, where I had to restart as an 18-year-old man. So I'm 30 years old. I own my own business doing low voltage electrical. So that's network systems, fiber, access control, security cameras. That's most of what I'm doing day to day. I'm doing all right for myself right now. So if I was to start over and I was to do it again and I was going to pick my same field, because that's the one I know, which would be electrical or really low volt specifically, here's what I would do. I'm 18 years old. I graduate college. I sit down with my parents and I say, hey, mom, hey, dad, I don't want to go to college. I would like to get a job in the trades. Is it okay with you if I live with you guys for the next 4 or 5 years that I would be like when I was going to college or whatever, and I can work on doing this? If you would like me to pay rent, I'm willing to do that, because it's going to be cheaper to do that than if I live somewhere else. And if I need to buy my own food or something like that, I'll do that too. So you have that conversation with your parents, and then you find the closest trade job that you can to you. It's going to make you the best money. So let's say you get a job doing electrical work or low voltage, access control, security, stuff like that. So you're going to be a helper. I live in Maryland. I live right between Baltimore and DC. So most of the jobs around here, you're going to start at $18 to $21 an hour or so, which not great, but that's going to be your starting wage. Usually after 3 months, you're going to get a little bit of a pay increase. A lot of them also have retirement plan price match, ratcheting, like a 401k or whatever. My old company that I was at did 6%. So if I put in 6% of my check, they would match 6%. So I would make 12% of my check would go into a retirement 401k. That's pre-tax. 100% do that. If you can have that as an option, you're going to do that. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to talk with mom and dad. You're going to figure out how much I need to pay for rent, for food, whatever like that. And then you're going to set aside that amount. And then you're going to take, say, 10%. That's going to be my dick around. I want to have fun. I want to go party with my friends on the weekend. I want to buy something money. And then you're going to set aside that. 100% of the rest of the money you make is going straight into the S&P 500. That's the pool. If you don't know anything about investing, that's the 500 biggest publicly traded companies that are doing the best right now in America. You put the money into that. It diversifies it equally across all of those. On average, you're going to make 7% a year. So if the economy does what it does 99% of the time, you put in $1,000, you make 7%, you make that would be $70 that year that you would make on it, right? But you're continually investing 80% possibly of your check is going to go into that. You're going to do that for 4 years. When your friends get back from college and have 120 grand in debt, you have that much money plus in investments already that is continually going to accrue and make you money and snowball. So the other thing that you're going to do, you're not going to eat gas station food. You're not going to go out to eat with all the other coworkers that they're going to do, because if you look around, most of your coworkers are going to be severely overweight. They're going to be out of shape. They chain smoke. They're alcoholics. They're diabetics. They're drug addicts. We're not doing that. You're going to meal prep. Chicken and rice is your friend. Anything like that. You're going to bring your own lunch every single day of the week. You're going to eat the same stuff. It's going to suck. It's going to be boring, but you're going to be healthier. You're going to save a ton of money doing this way as well. It's also going to help you be disciplined, because sometimes it's grueling. Trades are not always fun, and depending on which one you do, what area you're in, if you're doing roofing or something like that, or you're working in an oil field, it blows, dude. It's going to be a certified bad time. You're a roofer in the summer. It sucks, you know? But the hard jobs are the ones where you're going to make the most money. Electrical, it's not that bad, bro. Whatever we're doing stuff, the building is there. Unless you're a lineman, it's not bad. Every now and then you got to be on a bad construction site that's cold or too hot. Tough luck, dude. It is what it is. So we're doing that. We're bringing our own meal prep every week. We're saving our money. The other thing that you're also going to do is you are going to get a gym membership, and you're going to go learn how to lift, get in shape. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to do like a sport, power lift, anything like that. Go to the gym, take care of yourself, get in shape, be stronger. And then what that's going to do is that's going to help you, because the job is very physical. It's going to help you be stronger. You're the strongest one of your coworkers. You're also not going to be snapped up, have your joints destroyed, and all these other things, because you learn how to take care of yourself, and you're strong enough to deal with the loads that you're dealing with every day, moving around the way that you are. And it'll take time, but once again, you'll learn how to be in shape. You'll learn how to take care of yourself, and it will actually help you recover and not feel as beat up from the work. There's guys that are younger than me that are talking about like, I got to get out of the field, man. I'm so beat up. It's like, no, it's actually the fact that you're an alcoholic and a drug addict and you don't lift ever. That's why you feel like trash. I'm 30 years old. I move better than guys who are 22. So those are going to be the primary things. And then also when it comes time for you to buy a vehicle, buy a used car. I am driving a 26-year-old truck right now. I bought this thing in cash, $6,000 up front, bam, I'm good to go, I'm out of here, all right? The first car I bought when I was 19 years old. I saved up all of my money in high school. I started driving when I was 16 and a half as soon as I could get my license. And then I started working right away. I'd also saved up all the money I'd made when I was a kid, mowing lawns, raking leaves, plowing snow, whatever. I worked all the time when I was a kid because if I wanted to buy something, my parents were like, yeah, you go and get it yourself. So I saved up all of that money, and then I bought myself a car, and I drove that thing for 12 years. I put 200,000 miles on it. I just sold it or scrapped it like 2 months ago because it finally died because I was running till the wheels fall off, all right? That is the lifestyle that you're going to live. And if you grind this out, by the time you're my age, if I was smart and you'd done that, dude, you would genuinely have $500,000 in investments right now. I very easily, if I'd been still kind of retarded with my lifestyle, could have $300,000 or $400,000 in investments that's just accruing me money and annually making more and more over time. Like, it is not that hard to be very disciplined. And if you're doing, especially if you live with your parents, brother, and they're making you, they're not making you pay rent, you can invest 75-80% of your check. If you make 40 grand a year the first time, which is not much, you're still putting $35,000 that I've invested, bam, right there. And then the next year you start making more. Like, that adds up so fast, dude. So, young man, get yourself in the trades, work hard. You set yourself apart by your work ethic, by not complaining, by showing up on time, by learning quickly, being excited and passionate about whatever it is that you're doing. You hate your job, try learning more about it and try being better at it. You're going to be more inclined to have a good time, and it's going to feel better and more fulfilling. You actually are enjoying what you're doing and you're excited and you're passionate about it. So, God bless, fellas. Get yourself in the trade. Just to recap quickly, the second you graduate high school, chat with mom and dad. I want to stay at home. If I have to pay rent, I do, whatever. If I have to buy my own food, I will, whatever. Find the trade that you want to do. Find whatever is closest to you. We're going to go with that one. You're going to meal prep. You're going to make all your own food. You're going to go to the gym. And then you're going to invest as much as you possibly can of your money, especially for the first 4 or 5 years, because we've all heard the example of the guy who invested for a few years when he was 18 versus the guy who started when he's 25, and the guy who's 18 makes more because compound interest. Yeah. Except if you're even more aggressive with that, it only snowballs even further. So you put 80% of your check in for the first 5 years, you're balling out, dude. And the last thing is live. Your lifestyle does not increase proportionally to the amount of money you make. All right, that is how people stay poor. Is, oh, I make more money now, I can have nicer things, now I can get a nicer car, now I can live in a nicer place, and that's how you stay paycheck to paycheck, perma poverty mode. Is because your expenses increase with the amount of money you make. Doesn't make sense, bro. Make that gap as wide as possible. You make more money, the gap gets bigger. You get to save even more, so that down the road, when you've actually learned how money works, then you can be responsible and you're balling out. That's all I got. Stay righteous, fellas. God bless. Get yourselves in the trades. Let's get after it.